The Ink of Impending Days. Silas lived a life of quiet clockwork. He preferred the company of gears and springs to the unpredictable chatter of the town square. One Tuesday, while seeking shelter from a sudden, violent rainstorm, he ducked into a small cafe. There, resting on a velvet chair as if waiting for him, was a leather-bound diary. It looked heavy, seasoned by the oils of many hands, yet it was perfectly dry. Curiosity is a sharp hook. Silas opened the book to find the ink still fresh, smelling of cedar and iron. His heart skipped a beat as he saw his own name written in a looping, elegant hand. The entry was dated for that very evening. At 8 o'clock, Silas will shatter the window of the silversmith and take the crescent moon pendant. Silas gasped. He was a man of peace, not a thief. He determined to stay home, to prove the book a liar. He locked his doors and bolted his windows. But as the clock struck 8, a thunderclap shook his house so violently that a heavy brass vase fell from his mantel. It crashed through his front window, the very window that looked out onto the silversmith's shop. Silas rushed outside to clear the glass, his hands trembling. He knelt in the wet grass to gather the fragments, but his fingers brushed against something cold and metallic. It was the crescent moon pendant, lying in the mud as if it had fallen from the sky. He picked it up, intending to return it, but the diary's words echoed in his mind. To the world, he was now a man standing over broken glass with stolen silver in his palm. Desperate to escape the narrative, Silas tried to destroy the book. He threw it into his hearth, watching the orange flames lick the leather. He waited for the smell of burning paper, but the room remained scented with cedar. The book sat in the center of the roaring fire, its pages white and untouched, the ink mocking him from the heat. He turned the page. The next entry read, "Before the sun rises, Silas will silence the baker Thorn to keep him from telling the watchman what he saw." Silas panicked. He didn't want to hurt anyone. He ran through the cobblestone streets toward the bakery, his lungs burning with the cold mist, hoping to warn the man instead. He found Thorn at the back door, hauling a sack of flour. "Run!" Silas shouted, his voice cracking. But Thorn saw the wild look in Silas's eyes, and the silver pendant still clutched in his other hand. Thorn didn't run. He backed away, tripping over a crate and falling into the cellar. The heavy wooden door slammed shut, locking Thorn in the darkness. Silas had silenced him, just as the book predicted. "Who is doing this?" Silas cried out to the fog. He saw a flicker of movement near the old clock tower, a tall, thin shadow wearing a hat that looked like a folded inkwell. Silas gave chase, his boots echoing against the stones. He felt like a character being pulled by invisible strings, moving toward a climax he hadn't authored. At the top of the tower, Silas found a man named Vellum, sitting at a desk made of bone. Vellum was hunched over, a long quill scratching rhythmically against parchment. "You're late for the final chapter, Silas," Vellum whispered without looking up. "I've written a marvelous ending for you. It involves a high ledge and a very long fall." Silas looked at the book and then at the man. He realized the power wasn't in the events, but in the ink. With a surge of defiance, Silas grabbed the quill from Vellum's hand. He didn't push the man. He simply sat down and began to write. "Silas went home," he scribbled, and the diary became nothing but blank paper. As the words hit the page, Vellum faded into a puddle of ink, and Silas walked back into the morning sun, a free man with a clean slate.